বন্ধ করে দিও না, বন্ধ করলে চলে যায়। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Oh, may the divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the Sunday service of the Vedanta Society of Toronto. And today's service, as it is an online only service, and the topic of discussion today is building blocks of inner strength. How What is strength? We know. What is inner strength? We also know. And how to build that inner strength? That is the challenge. How to build the inner strength? We'll discuss about what is strength, how we inculcate strength, and how can even we make our next generation have that inner strength for our children. How to teach the strength for the children. So Upanishads teach that Nayam Atma Balahinena Lavya. A weak person cannot have the realization of God or spiritual growth. To have the spiritual enlightenment, one has to be strong. So that is the words of Upanishads. Nayam Atma Balahinena Lavya. That without strength, there is no success in spiritual life. And that strength is essentially the strength of the mind, strength of perseverance, strength of self-confidence that I can achieve this. So that is what is very important in the spiritual life. Without that confidence of achieving the thing, how one can achieve the highest wisdom. So that is the very thing. Swami Vivekananda said, strength, strength, oh man, be not weak. So how that strength come? Strength will come by understanding more about thinking of strength. And Swami Vivekananda says the literature of our Vedanta is very unique. They have some words that are not found in any other literature. And one of them he likes so much is avi, be fearless. So he said, such strength, be fearless. How can that fearless come? So that is the thing, fearlessness comes. So Swami Vivekananda says, if you don't have strength, strength is life and weakness is death. So if you are weak, indecisive, and you have no confidence in yourself, so it is more a dead than alive. So strength is very important. Now, how we gain the strength, how we inculcate the strength. A human being is born as a baby, and the strength has to be given, has to be taught, has to be inspired to small baby that is growing, the boy, the toddler, the baby that is growing baby needs inspiration of strength, of inner self. So who is the first one to inspire one for the strengthening children? First one is the influence of mother. Mother is the best one to inspire a baby for strength, making a baby feel that the baby who has come has all the power in the spirit, and always to know the spirit is the very essence of the powerhouse of the individual being. So that is there, infinite power is there within that person. So to make the baby aware that you can do, you can achieve. And this, when one has the strength, all goodness is expressed to that person. Any evil or anything bad that is done by a person is not because of strength, it is because of weakness. Any person of characterless person or harming person or person who injures others is not a sign of strength. It's always a sign of weakness. To to injure, to kill others is a sign of weakness. A strong person will can only love all, so not injure others. So how to make the children strong in their mind? So there's the story of one mother called Madalasa. In the Upanishad, in the Vedas, this story is there. So when her children were born, from the very cradle, she used to say, Tomasi Niranjana, you, oh my child, you are tenthless one. Always she used to refer to the child as the Brahman, and always said, you are not the body that is seen. In your essence, you are the Atman, you are the soul, you are the spirit. Don't forget the spiritual nature of yours. When a person gets the spiritual nature, all the strength comes, all power comes, weakness just dissolves, weakness just goes. Because we forget our true nature, we feel weak. Because we identify with something that is weak, frail, which is destroyed, that we feel we are frail, we are weak, we are impure, will be destroyed, because we identify with this body. But when we identify with our true nature, we have nothing but strength. So that strength can come, and the mother is responsible, or influencer, the first influencer to the child of how can strength be inculcated. So this is what the teacher of Madalasa always inspiring. Like that, our mothers also should do to that to the children. That anything they do bad, anything that they lie, anything that they feel weak or anywhere, it's not about only physical. It's more about the jealousy, hatred, greed. All those are the signs of weakness. So whenever those come, we have to explain to our children that those are the signs of weakness. There is nothing that you don't have. You have everything in the world. You are the spirit. In fact, everything that you see outside is already within you. Other and those who have and those who do not have are not separately and are essentially different. Also, those who have, and what children sometimes the greed, anger, hatred, all these weaknesses are there. So that has to be carefully removed from children by showing them the real utility of those things, of why not to have greed for some things, and to have that you have everything. So it's saying that you are all perfect Atman, that itself, the word, when it goes to the child, they learn very quickly. Then they start thinking, I am perfect, mother says. Why should I be in trouble with others? Why should I feel jealous of others? All this will come. Because then when the child is influenced in the strength by mother, child feels joy when his or her friend gets wonderful scores in exam. There's the less of competition and more of rejoicing in the success of others. Not that the child will not strive to do better himself. Not to try to do better is also a sign of weakness. To try to manifest Atman, the power of Atman, the perfection of the Atman, that is the sign of strength. So mother can inspire the child. Second influencer of the child is father. Father is the one, when child starts thinking, talking, asking something more, the father's role becomes greater. Like when the child becomes teenager, there's the most time that he is with the father, and father starts explaining to him the ways of the world, more mature, sees around, tries to find justice and injustice, right and wrong, what is right, what wrong. Father can see, tell to the student. Our very scriptures say, Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava. So father should be regarded as God. And God here means God here means guide, which gives us strength, which gives us supplement for life, better life to live. So God doesn't mean some that children has to worship with flower and all those things, touch their feet. God here means you are responsible to give him the life strengthening message and build the character of the child as strong and as nice as you can do. For that, generally children are not don't go only by word; they absorb by seeing the person. When he finds father himself has a good character, he doesn't tell a lie, he is very truthful, like those things, and the child absorbs that, he does that. So whenever our children, because of weakness, tries to deviate from truth, give them strength. Say, hold on to truth. Little difficulty doesn't mean, but by holding on to truth, you become strong internally so much. So these are the qualities that the father can influence the child. The another person who gives the children influences on having the strength is a teacher. In the Upanishad, it's not only said Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava, but also said Acharya Devo Bhava. Teacher is like a god to the student. So teacher's influence on the student is great. He shows, teacher, he or she shows the student right path, right things in action. When the student goes to school and spends a lot of waking hours in the school in the association with children and colleagues. So the building of the character of the inner strength is so essential, and teacher has a great role. Teacher's role doesn't finish with just teaching them 3 hours, reading, writing, and arithmetic, or other arts and sciences. Teachers have to have the role to give to them the life building message. How should one live in life? And again, here also, teacher's role and his personal life is of much influence on the student. A teacher's role is like to show the student his real nature. That's a spiritual teacher, of course. Swami Vivekananda tells the story of tiger in this flock of a sheep. So that is beautiful story. Most of you know that there was a tiger hunting sheep, and he jumped there and found there was a big tiger like him, who was bleating, eating grass, and he started running away like sheep. So this time, this attacking tiger didn't catch the sheep for as food. He was very dismayed by seeing a tiger of like him behaving like a sheep, not knowing itself. So he caught up, instead of catching of sheep, he caught up of this tiger, sheep-like tiger, who behaved like a sheep. And he dragged him and took him to a water body and showed him his image. He said, I am the tiger, and you are afraid of me. You are also tiger. You should not be afraid. You should be fearless. And he said, I and you are not different. So this is the teacher who shows the real nature of spirit, real nature of the self to the student, the reality of the world, reality of himself, strength, confidence, character. All those should come to the student. When, in addition to other academic things, these can be put into student, he is a wonderful teacher, the best teacher. So such teacher, and he brought him there, and still he was bleating like a man. Is doing, the tiger was doing like a sheep. He thrust some meat in the tiger. The tiger, sheep tiger, he tasted blood, and he then realized and roared like the attacking tiger, and say, "Go to the forest. Don't go into the sheep. Know thyself, your true nature." That is the role of a teacher, to let the students know their worth, their nature, their to raise their level of confidence, which can be raised by the teacher. You can do, you can do, you can achieve. So, but you must be a better human being. So that's how the teacher's role for strengthening the inner strength, strengthening the person, is there in the children. There's the influence of company also. When we get a job, we have colleagues, and colleagues have influence on us. And also, we have influence on the colleagues, on our companions. So, when we are already, with the help of mother, father, teacher, we already have the inner strength developed in us. So, we become like a source of inspiration to our colleagues, and they find solace in us. They find the source of strength in us. So that can be the role of the company. Instead of being influenced by the weakness, we become so strong that our inner strength influences others. So that is a thing that can influence others. So the most important thing in building in building the blocks of inner strength is having faith. They say faith. Faith in what? Faith in the very traditional way the scriptures say, Shastreshu Guru Vakyeshu Vishwasa Shraddha. That's called Shraddha. Faith in Sanskrit has the word. Swami Vivekananda ji said, Avi, I don't find commonly in other literature. He also says one word that cannot be truly translated from Sanskrit to English is Shraddha. Unique word in Sanskrit. So the faith falls little short of Shraddha. Shraddha defined is faith or trust in Guru, teachings of Guru, and teachings of the scriptures. And also, Swami Vivekananda added one more dimension to it. He said, not only these two factors for Shraddha. Shraddha also means having total faith in oneself. Shastreshu, Guru Vakyeshu, Atmani, Vishwasa, Shraddha. That's what Vivekananda would like to say. Faith in yourself. Faith in ourselves comes when we have the idea of spirit in us, that we are spirit, pure, perfect, whole. That side of idea, if it comes to us by the teaching of our mother, father, and the teacher, then that faith becomes strong. And instead of becoming haughty and egoistic, again, egoism is a sign of weakness, it is not a sign of strength. Strength, inner strength, is very sweet. Inner strength is very sweet. It makes one humble, it makes us polite, it makes us acceptable to all. It doesn't think that I am greater than you. That's what is the power of this faith in yourself, or your power of your faith in the Atman. So that makes you one of them, neither higher than them nor lower of them, but one of the human beings, where the God has manifested in all as human beings. You see the God's power as a spirit in you, and also you see God's power in others. So you treat others as equal and having a lot of possibilities, and yourself also you find that you have so much possibilities. So faith is a very important denomination of building inner strength. You must have faith. Faith is so much eulogized in the Gita. It says in the Gita, it says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatpara samyatendriya. So it says, one who has Shraddha or faith in himself, and faith in the teachings of his Guru, and faith in the words of the scriptures, that person attains to the knowledge, to real knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of real self. Understand oneself as true self. The Shraddha is needed, that I can achieve it, and what is said in the scripture is true, that I am the Brahman, the ultimate, the purity, Satchidananda. That is my real nature. So that is what the faith can give. So faith has tremendous power to empower us in the strength. That's the building block of inner strength, faith. Company in getting the faith in the child. Now, how can we retain that? It is said in the scriptures, as I said, faith in the scriptures. The scriptures also talk a lot about how to have faith. The one thing that they say is positive thinking. Don't be negative. Remove the negativity from you. That and this all jealousy, hatred, criticism, looking down upon others, being yourself egoistic, thinking this what is called that superiority complex. All these are the signs of weakness, not of strength. So this all can be overcome by positive thinking. Positive thinking is to think that there is a lot of tremendous power and energy and strength in human beings, in me and in you, in him, in her. So when you have that type of thinking, and all, then you start seeing goodness in others. Another thing to have the positive thinking is seeing goodness in others. When we start seeing bad, something evil in others, you're already weak. You have already negative thinking. The positive thinking is not only for about yourself, I can do, and self confidence. Positive thinking also means you see good in others. So that positive thinking leads us to build our inner strength a lot. And one which is strong internally, mentally, that person can have influence on his companions, his or her companions, his or her children, his or her family. That person become like so wonderful power. Generation of power comes from that. He is the power of strength, a source of strength for the people that are around that person. One who is internally strong can only teach his or her children about the strength and influence them. If you are weak by yourself, you yourself tell a lie, and how can you ask your children to tell the truth? So if your children you ask, tell me everything that happens today in the school, don't lie, how you performed, how the teacher told you. If the child, the son or daughter finds that you yourself tell lies in occasionally, he will also not tell the truth. He will also start making the things. So it has to come from us so that others become strong to that positive thinking. Positive thinking about not only about oneself but about others also, beginning from our children. We must have very positive idea about our children that they are the human beings, they are souls covered by the body and mind. Body and mind is like the cloth. Inside them is perfect, pure, all powerful soul, all knowing soul is there. The spirit is there. So thinking of our children as the spirit who has to manifest its power through body and mind, and like little help in that way, so they become that way. So have positive thinking. That is one of the very important factor to inculcate the inner strength. Be positive about yourself, be positive about others. So when we are, I have often seen those people who are not positive about themselves are always afraid of uncertainty or afraid of losing the things. They become so much negative about others. Oh, that person might change this thing, that person might take away this, maybe I will be criticized that person. So always this, when we are ourselves feeling insecure, we are weak, then we see others as doing something harm, some injury. If we are strong, then we don't think about being injured by others. So our scriptures say about how to inculcate that inner strength. It says, don't injure others. So this is a sign of manifestation of inner strength. Always not injuring others in any way, not injuring others not only physically but also mentally and by vocally or by word or speech and mind or physical body. Don't injure others. One thing not to injure others, the scriptures say, is that other is not really other is yourself seen as others. It is appears as others. He or she or anyone is yourself in different mask, different appearance. But we all are one. One soul appears as many. So when you injure others, in fact, you injure yourself. When you injure others by thought, oh, that person is not good, so that is injury to yourself. So when we start have positive thinking about others, and we don't want to injure others by thought even, by our criticism even, by when seeing evil in other person, seeing evil in other person is not only injuring him, but more it injures ourselves. We become victim of our wrong ideas, negative thinking. That's why positive thinking is very important. Holy Mother said, don't find fault with others, rather find your own faults. If you want peace of mind, what is that peace of mind? That peace of mind is the inner strength. When we have inner strength, only then we can have peace. We want peace, but don't try to inculcate the inner strength, and then how we'll have peace of mind. So peace of mind comes from that, not by seeing the only defects in others. So Holy Mother says, who doesn't have some problems, some defects? Don't count on those things. Don't exaggerate the defects of others. And often it is your eye that sees defect in others. So because you yourself have a little of that inside. So don't pay heed to anything that you find anything defective or little less managing in others. Try to find goodness in others. Overlook the whatever problem you feel in others is, overlook that. Don't care for that. You are not here to teach your companions, friends, and your colleagues. You had the responsibility to teach your child when he was growing, or your student when he is with you, because that time you try to correct it out of love. When you see the defect in others, of your companions, friends, your church mates, all that, when you find a defect in those, that is out of jealousy, out of hatred. That's not out of love. But when you try to correct your child or a student, it is out of pure love. He wants to remove all his incompleteness or imperfection from his or her life. So that is based on love. That is not the meant by don't see fault with others. That time, whatever their imperfection is there, we should try to remove that out of pure love, but not this thing, not like seeing the defect in others. So don't see any defect in others. So this is what don't injure others, the scriptures will say. Don't tell a lie. This telling lie, managing the things, that this is all because of our sense of weakness. So don't ever tell a lie to the person. You should not be rude to the person, telling the truth in his or her face, that you didn't do this right or didn't do this perfectly. It was not too right to have said you this way. Not, don't say that. That's why the scriptures are very wonderful in saying what type of truth and when and how we should say. And they say, Satyam Briyat Priyam Briyat. Only tell those truths which are Priya, which are agreeable truths, which can make others happy. Otherwise, keep mum. You don't have to say blunt truths always. Uh, According to your thought or your vision, you have some idea that person is not doing right. Don't say, don't hurt others. So it is about when you say the blunt truth, whatever other person has, then you are injuring others. So that's why first comes truthfulness, first comes non-injury, then comes truthfulness. So truthfulness is saying the things, are not lying, not making up the things. All that comes from inner strength. Why should you fear to manipulate the things that you have? Be frank, be truthful. Don't manipulate, and be ready to face the consequence by saying the truth. So that's what the strength. When strength is there, you are not afraid of having the consequence. No sacrifice of truth for you want to achieve something easy. If you tell something lies, the things will be easy. No, I'm ready to go to the difficulty, but I will not give up the truth. Sri Ramakrishna said. So that one who is holding on to truth is always with God, is lying on the lap of God, he said. Truthfulness is very, very important and is a manifestation of the inner strength. So by practicing to be truthful and by being ready to pay the price of being truthful, we gain that strength. One after another, strength comes. How see the example of Khudiram. That's how we should train our children, by giving the example of saints and prophets and sages, brave persons. Tell the life of those people who are really strong in life, how they live. That has a great influence on the children's mind. Mothers should tell the stories of, that's why some said, tell the stories of Mahabharata and Ramayana, and let the children decide the character. There are so great characters to be all signs of all strength in Mahabharata. Not only Krishna, I mean Pandava brothers, and there are the characters who are evil, greedy, who wanted to hoard the land, wanted to deprive others. When you tell the story of those people, the human mind, which is being enlightened with the pure spirit, understands what is right and what is wrong. And generally, it is always right they seek to. So tell the stories of all great teachers of the world. and great persons of the world. That's very influencing. And in that, Rama and the Mahabharata to be children. Most of us didn't grow with the story, reading the full story of Mahabharata and Ramayana. Whatever we have knowledge, it is of by seeing the video, by seeing the what you call serials. But that is, I think, not sufficient. We need to have the idea of the character that should be there. What type of characters life should influence our inner strength. The Krishna's character, Arjuna's character, Yudhishthira's character, Kunti's character, Draupadi's character, all these are the characters, Sita's character. All this character really influence our life. And when our life is influenced by these great, strong people, then it attains that strength in our life. So don't tell lies. Be strong enough to tell the truth and be prepared to face the consequences or pay the price for the truth. Other thing that our scriptures say is practice self-control. Don't give up to your senses, whatever they say and want. Always be discriminative or discern what is good, what is bad, and follow what is good for you. Don't be led by what is bad. So be regular, have self control, and by that only you can assume the task of getting control over your mind and making energizing it to practice the strength and find the peace. When there is inner strength in one person, in proportionately there is peace, inner peace in the person. So self-control and not giving way to the weaknesses of the mind, to the attraction of the senses. Senses go to the some subject object, you liked it, and they said grab that, eat that, have that, see that. So that thing stop by your inner strength. Once you start doing that, your mind gets strength. By practicing strength slowly, your mind will not yield to any unmanliness. That's what Sri Krishna said to the Arjuna. Yield not to unmanliness, O Arjuna. In this time of crisis, how this unmanliness comes? I will not fight like that thing. Not seeing the reality. They're also you're afraid of death and also the death and also of losing the battle. So that type of thing, and also of seeing the enemy, all the his relatives and all that. How one has come to fight with for the justice. How one sees about the enemy as something dear, revered, and all that things. They are all on the side of injustice, and you have come to fight. How this loathsome, Sri Krishna says, it is loathsome stupidity that has come to you. This unmanliness that you have come, the weakness of emotion. How does it come to you? That when the time has come to uphold the justice, uphold the truth. So, and as your dharma becomes important. The emotion is not important. That's how the strength, when he had little become weak inwardly, how Krishna energizes. Gita is a message of wonderful inner strength. Another thing that our scriptures say, don't crave for worldly things. That often, asteya it is called. We often see the things and some desire comes, if I could have that. So that is the sign of weakness, trying to see the things. The scriptures say, first of all, the sense of beauty comes, shobhana adhyasa, something you see and you start see a beauty. And seeing beauty in the thing that is in the nature is very nice. You see, while getting beauties and enjoying the beauty. But the problem comes when you want to possess that beauty. You want to have that beauty. Oh, if this flower could be in my garden, if this thing should be with me. Oh, so beautiful car. Oh, if I could have that car. This mind getting this attachment or trying to have a desire to possess that. This possession is very dangerous. So no need of possession. When we are aware of the nature of our spirit, then we don't need to possess yourself. You know that you are the spirit you are the manifestation of one spirit that appears as all this whole universe. So another person possessing a beautiful car is like you possessing the beautiful car. You see this, something has been created nice. That is fine. Let him have that. Let him enjoy that. And I enjoy his driving, his seeing, his possessing. That's fantastic for me. Why do I care to have spend so much money and bring that another car and have maintenance for that, and fill in the supreme gas for that expensive? I don't need that. I can enjoy seeing the things that have been created beautifully in the world. So when you have that sense of oneness, inner strength comes, greed goes away, and you enjoy the things that is there you see in the world. So that's what, don't crave for worldly things. Inner strength will make you not desire the things, whatever you see, a beautiful, likable thing in the world, that I should have that in my home, I should have that in my garden. That doesn't happen when you are strong enough. So another thing that say, don't try to have things what you have not earned and what are superfluous, that you don't really need. You don't have that. That's called a parigraha. In it's very much eulogized in the Jaina literature of parigraha. Don't possess the thing that is not essential for you. Only those are essential, keep that. Don't fill your wardrobe with unessential jackets and dresses and the shoes that are not needed. Just you see to, and you have money and you see that it is not needed for you to make happy. Be happy with the thing that is comfortable for you, that is useful for you, beneficial for you. Happy with that. You don't have to change the color every time and the design every time. So possessing things that you really do not need, superfluous, and trying to get the thing that you didn't really earn with your own hard work. That one of the things is lottery. Often we try to have, if I had earned the lottery, and the mind is so tricky. If I will earn lottery, they come to me also sometimes. Swami, I will give 50% to Vedanta Society. I will donate that. So it is, they are not interested in donating 50%. They are interested in having 50% because the sum is too high, some $10 million. So they are more interested in having $5 million for themselves, and like 5 million is so much, so they are ready to give 5 million to the ashram or charity or temple or hospital. But that is not the goal. That is also a money earned by not hard work, and such money generally is not well used. So always hard work, not to accept any gift. And this is also like a gift. All people, many people with all hopes of earning money, they put money in that. Everyone who has put money in the lottery has a great craving for winning the lottery. So you win not only money, you, with it comes the craving or greed of all the persons who have put money in that. All that greed you are owning to you. How much greedy it will become to you. With all that, that person could not get that, and it may get the envy and jealousy of all those. Oh, this he got all the money and I could not get. And they're also they will feel sad. Their sadness, their jealousy, all that comes with 10 million of dollars that you win in the lottery. Lottery is that thing. It may do something good if it is spent in a nice thing, but mostly it is seen that when one wins jackpot, the person becomes poorer than what he was originally before he won the lottery, because he just misuses that money in many things. Many vices come to his life, like that happens. So not accepting gift, it is called a parigraha. Very important to have our inner strength. Be strong in self, in yourself. And the most important thing how this thing often gets is mm, mm, not hatred causes us endure others. So to remove the hatred from our heart is to realize our true nature. That's why it is said in the Upanishad that when one sees oneself, the whole all self in oneself, and oneself in all other self, then one doesn't hate anyone. You have to find oneness with others. That is the knowledge that we get. That gives us freedom from hatred. Otherwise, there is chance. When a person sees the self in all and all in the self, then he hates not. So this is about the building blocks of inner strength. So physical strength, we all know. We also should be physically strong to have the inner strength. Physical strength comes from nourishing food, proper exercise, and proper health care. So that gives us physical strength. And for the proper exercise, there are asanas and yogic exercises. Those help, and also other warming up and going to gym, spending some time in walking for the elderly persons. All these are part of keeping our body fit, body strong, and body healthy. So that is by which we get the physical strength in our body. But what is more important is inner strength. Inner strength is can be inculcated, as I said, by looking at the lives of great prophets, particularly great saints and great teachers. So that gives us impetus, no doubt. So that is very important to read the life of. If you read the life of Swami Vivekananda, where you find some teachings also, you feel so much strong. You want to be like Vivekananda. In many parts of India, Vivekananda is very popular. When I said in your part, Vivekananda is very popular and many people read there, and in your textbooks is there. They said, Swamiji, Vivekananda is popular in our place, in our community, not because he was a spiritual person, but because he was a perfect person. He was a successful person. He was a fearless person. So, like that, when you read the life of Vivekananda, that strength comes in you. And any other teacher, Vivekananda, Guru Gobind Singh, Netaji, all that great teachers, when you read the life, Shivaji, all the very inspiring life of self-sacrifice, fearlessness, and strength that they had. Strength manifests as ability to take decision. So when we have to take decision, when we find that we are not able to decide, that means we are still weak inwardly. So ability to take decision comes from strengthening our inner nature, strengthening our mind. And this strengthening mind also helps to coordinate between our different faculties of our life: feeling, thinking, willing, and acting. These are four faculties of our life. They all work in unison, one helping others. They don't go one away from others. What we will, that we act, and that's how we feel. So all these act together: feeling, thinking, willing, and acting. So those all have to be in coordination, and then we become the strong mentally. And when we are pure in mind, we do not think ill about others. We have no much craving for the things of the world. Naturally, strength comes. Then this coordination and different faculties of life comes. Uh, Another show of strength which we must do is doing that, maintaining regularity and punctuality in our life. That is very important. That also increases our inner strength. Like in our spiritual practice, going to office, meeting a person, so trying to keep the words and maintaining punctuality. And in our daily practice, regularity, those are all signs of inner strength. They strengthen our mind and they help in making us more strong internally. So keeping the time, keeping the words, those are all the things. Um, so another thing that to increase strength is generate the power to control your thoughts and feelings. It is difficult to control the thoughts and feelings, but we can control that, becoming not showing our emotions in the things, but really loving. Swami Brahmananda used to say one wonderfully how one loves others. He said that the loving others should be so inward, so deep, that the one who you love should not even understand that you love him. See this? Not to say thank you, we all expect by doing something, thank you, and all that thing. But love should be so deep that whom you love, that person even doesn't know that you really love him. So much hidden. These are all the power of strength. When Michelangelo they made a small bird in the ceiling of a church, and in the ceiling it was hidden by the false ceiling, at the top of the church in the roof, in the ceiling. The people said, "Why are you making there such a beautiful piece of craft there? And nobody will see it." So, what Angelo says, human being will not see, but God sees. I want appreciation of God. I want His love, not the human appreciation. It's too shallow, too flimsy, too impermanent. Human today they appreciate, tomorrow they tell the same thing as criticize the same thing. So he goes to for the appreciation of God. So that is the sign of strength when you are connected with God, with your inner self, and don't care much about how the world says, or it criticizes or praises you. This very world is that way. It's very flimsy, temporary. Today the same person will love you and say all the great things. Tomorrow when time changes, a bad time comes, same person will say many things, criticize you many things. So don't take much about the world, but it's God that really understands. When Swami Vivekananda was in poverty, was searching job. So many people started criticizing to Sri Ramakrishna about Narendranath. Oh, Narendranath goes here and there. He eats all sorts of food. He's not the same person as you saw. Sri Ramakrishna, keep quiet. I know what is Narendranath. For Sri Ramakrishna, Narendranath was not changed at all by eating which food he eats or where does he go. Doesn't matter at all. He knows what Narendranath is, what would be Swami Vivekananda is. God knows what we are. That thing about the God, He will never change our relationship with God. Whatever we are, we become. So that's how controlling our thoughts and feelings also is very important. Difficult, but possible. Controlling thoughts also possible. About the thoughts, sometimes these thoughts come in our mind even without our thinking. So now the problem is the thoughts, some are good, some are bad. But still, all thoughts should be controlled, and thoughts should not be able to control us, but they should come and go. Don't hook onto the thought that has come. So thought, if comes and goes from our chidabhasa, our mental space, then there is no problem. When you hook onto thought, some thought of guilt, thought of some desire, then the problem is there. Let thought come and merge from where it has come. So they will all go and pass. So that is how the strength will show you. When you are inner strong, thoughts are not able to move you. They just come and pass. They will not be permanently on you, giving you trouble for anything. So another thing is that you need to inculcate in us. We need to inculcate in us is fearlessness for becoming strong, innerly strong. That will come when we are internally strong. The fearlessness will come. We'll not be afraid of the things so much. Real fearlessness in the ultimate sense is the realization of God. Upanishads say, Abhayam Vai Brahma. The fearlessness, the ultimate fearlessness is God Himself. If you are not afraid of anything in the world, not of death, not of criticism, not of any disease, not of old age, you are always that, then you are in already is very close to Brahman. That you are unaffected by the world at all. So you have attained the knowledge that you are not this body. You are there, which is unaffected by the world, by the changes of the world, by the changes of the body. You are separate entity than the body. Already, idea of spirit has come, and now the idea of spirit of has to be reabsorbed, and you attain the Brahman when you know the true, real nature of yourself. The first step is Kaivalya Prapti, or you know a spiritual nature, you know more in a better way, in a more concrete way, your real spiritual nature than body. Separation from body and you are not the body and mind. So body and mind, ever changing entity, do not harm you, are not connected with that. So body, so that is one thing that happens by getting into inner strength. Strength can give you fearlessness, and when you have ultimate fearlessness, then you have attained the Brahman, Abhayam by Brahma. Take others' criticism with much indifference. So that sometimes bothers us. Sometimes people criticize when we are weak, and we take it very seriously. But we should not take it as a criticism. doesn't bother about what others say. Swami Vivekananda himself was so much of criticism in the US, in India, so many. He was never bothered. For his own criticism, he never uttered a word. Only when people criticized his country or his religion, then he spoke out. But for himself, he knew it is nothing. It doesn't matter anything to that's the nature of the world. Sri Rama, he learned it from Sri Ramakrishna, who said, "Lok poke." The people are like poke means worms, insects. Why don't give much importance to what they say? They say today one thing, tomorrow another thing. They say without understanding. They say without reasoning. Just have some weakness in them and don't yield to their words. And also, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, "Kutta bhuke hajar, hati chale bazaar mein to kutta bhuke hajar." So when an elephant walks in the street, thousands puppies they bark, but they just bark. They can do no harm to the elephant. Elephant is so mighty and powerful and strong. The dogs just bark seeing an unusual animal going in the street of the city or towns. So they can bark, but they cannot harm the child, harm the elephant. And another story that Swami Vivekananda used to say about the strength and ignoring other things, other ignoring not only others' criticism, but ignoring the influence of nature upon us. That is so important. He told the story of bull and mosquito. A mosquito was sitting on the horn of a bull, and after some time, it pricked the conscience. Mosquito's conscience pricked it, and it said, "Oh, bull, I have been sitting on a horn for so long time. I'm sorry I was burden on you." So then bull says, "What are you saying? You are just a mosquito. I'm a bull, big bull. So you can sit as long as you like. Not only you can sit, you can bring all your family and relatives and friends and sit on my bull, on my horn. Nothing will bother me." So what a mosquito can bother a bull. Like that is the criticism of others. Like that is this worldly things that come to us. When we understand we are spirit, we are Atman, nothing of this world matters much. World's things become very insignificant, like the mosquito on the horn of a bull. So they don't bother that. And Swami Vivekananda was always so much used to say the story of the sage in the forest and the Alexander. Alexander was told to bring some wise person from India when he came to India, attacked India, and someone said there is a wise person, a sage in the forest. So Alexander said, "Come with me." The sage said, "No, I'm very happy here." He says, "I will give you a lot of gold and honor, and you'll be made my court priest, court wise person in our country. So many people will revere you." He said, "No, I'm very happy here, getting the sunlight and the river water and the white fruits. That's enough for me. Why would I go to bother to go to your place to have some honor from some people? That doesn't bother me." He said, "What? You are denying the order of emperor Alexander the Great? I can cut your head now." She became furious when he was not accepted the proposal or order. For Alexander, it was not proposal; it will be always order. He was that dictator. And the sage then laughed, and he said, "What are you saying? This great Alexander? It may be great, but this is the greatest lie you ever told in your life, that you will cut me, you will kill me. Nothing can kill me. I am immortal. I am not the body that you see. I am the spirit. You can cut the body into pieces, but the spirit, unborn, undying, ever remaining, everlasting, infinite reality, it cannot be touched by you. Oh, Alexander, you never told such a lie that you are going to kill me. Just say, I will kill your body, and you are welcome to kill this body. Doesn't matter. Even if this body is killed, I have realized the truth. I don't bother. That is the inner strength that Swami used to say. How one has inner strength, doesn't bother with external things, external calamities, external misfortunes. Nothing can disturb that person, because that person has known its real nature. Understanding our real nature is the source of inner strength. That's why Swami Vivekananda's quote at the end, he said, "Arise, awake, arise from this hypnotism of weakness. None is really weak. The soul is infinite, omnipotent, and omnipresent. Stand up, assert yourself, proclaim the God within you, teach yourself, teach everyone his real nature, call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come when this sleeping soul is roused to self conscious activity. This sleeping soul, the soul that is not aware of itself, that soul is roused to its awareness that I am that self, that my ego becomes I, the self, the Atman. Ego is no more there. Ego is thinks myself as the body, mind, impurity, weakness, imperfection. And now it asserts itself as the spirit, perfect, pure, immortal. And when that is roused to this perfection, everything that is glorious in the life of that person comes. Then that starts manifesting the spiritual nature of man starts manifesting. Greed, hatred, jealousy, weakness, all they go away. And what comes in place are love, compassion, and contentment and fearlessness ultimately comes when we build the blocks of inner strength. Thank you very much. Now the closing chant. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Jai Mahamai Ki Jai. Jai Swami Ji Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Buddha Ki Jai. Jai Isha Musha Ki Jai. Sarvastaratu Durgani Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu Sarvasad Buddhimapnotu Sarvas Sarvatra Nandatu. Hari Om Tat Sat. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all.